So this is the last video of the deer camp video, and at the end I want to just touch on the subject a little bit, just based on some things that I've learned and the effects I think it's having on our camp.
It's a pretty big track.
So we saw this track this morning. We're gonna try to, get her to use some of the hell blood skills that he has. See if we can track this deer down. But looks like it's going to a property that we've never been before, so it's gonna be a little tough. But regardless, I feel like we stand just a good chance at trying to track a deer as we do just sitting in a stand. And we've seen 4 deer since we've been, 5 deer since we've been here, and I've seen 4 of them. 3 of them I saw yesterday on my walk. So in this stand we saw two deer.
Johnson looks pretty big. We got an extra set of tracks that just came in. Looks just as fresh, just as big. I wonder if he did a circle.
Those ones look fresher over there, you think?
The ones that are going that way seem fresher to me than these.
Yeah, I think so.
But then they look just as big, don't they?
Well, this one's still pretty big.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a big deer, dude. Big old strides. We're not very far from our path where we found these tracks, but we've covered a lot of ground. He's done a big circle. And I ran into some moose tracks, some wolf tracks. And I've always wanted to come back here to this big clearing back here. I cleared it 5 or 6 years ago. I sat in here once. I haven't been back since, but it's finding a lot of good sign back here.
We just found that antler. I didn't even see it. That's pretty sweet.
It is. Well, we got 2 for camp.
Yeah, that moose was walking some hard terrain. Come up the hill.
Look at that. That's pretty fresh too.
Let's do it. Come. We got a gun.
You got a gun.
Okay, we're good then.
So, on the way out to our destination, I made a detour to show Robbie this old logging road right across from our blind. So if you ever wanted to venture out, you could see a different area, hunt a different area. It's really easy to access. And so we walked in there, and then we tracked that deer really far. By the time we got back, we probably tracked it for a mile. There was like 6 or 7 different wolf tracks all on it, so we just decided to back out. Figure that deer's a dead deer, and came back through that trail, through that logging trail, and in our boot tracks. Hey, which one is it?
Huh?
Is it this or those? Because we got another set. Got another set that goes around. Like in our boot tracks were brand new deer tracks. If my phone goes off, we're just gonna back out and go around. So we think we found a track again. It ended up doing a loop, but then we found a second set of tracks that were on top of our boots again. But now they're going north, so I think it just went around the blind and then just came in. It probably sees a blind that looks for food. So we're gonna go look for it or try to get this thing tagged. This deer is drunk. It literally just keeps going around in circles. We keep crossing over our paths. It's either that or the smartest deer ever. When you combine being tired and a genius buck, 15-point buck, it's genius. He just kept running over his tracks and getting us confused. Then we ended up following looked like a doe and a fawn track eventually, and we're like, this ain't right. So we are gonna go back to camp, do a couple things real quick. I don't know, maybe we'll go sit across the road or something. I don't know, we're pretty hot, or Rob wants to go down and walk somewhere else, so we're probably gonna go. I think I'm gonna change my undershirt and then just throw something on that isn't soaking wet. So me and Rob are sitting together again. I found it one time and about killed me, so I quit. We're in the Wolf 2.0. It's the same spot as the original Wolf. The original Wolf is sitting back there. But they logged this in front of us last year and opened it up for probably a good 200 yards. And it's on the side of this big old hill. And you'd think it would be perfect. Unfortunately, we just haven't seen any tracks or anything. But I took a walk back here last year on the first day I was here, and I kicked out 4. And then in years past, we've seen tons of deer back here walking. So they'll probably pick back up in a couple of years. But we have this stand that we're in now. It's set up literally at the property line of our property overlooking the forestry land. So luckily we're able to keep the stand here year round since it's our property. But we have this nice forestry land to look at for the next probably 3 or 4 years. In the next couple of years it's gonna, sapling up really big time, and that'll hold it back. But for now it seems like a good spot. About 10 minutes left. Doesn't seem like it. It seems like we have a lot more because it's so bright in here, but that's what the rule book says.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, sir. What about yours? Between they didn't hit on that?
Did you kick that corn on your way in last night?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there
Where
was
you guys
turkey
hunting
though.
about, Ernie's?
Oh, was there?
We gotta do camp stuff.
No, we're gonna hunt.
Not Ernie's though.
Well, tin
Guys
can.
took the ladder for that.
Tin can. We're gonna have the tin can. We're gonna
Across
hunt
the street?
Across the street.
What's across the street?
We're gonna hunt it
Steve's
all.
going to the stump in the morning with the 3-wheeler.
Okay. So who's sitting in the back?
Robbie.
Okay.
Dude, that was good. That was good. And then where else? Where else we gonna hunt? Across the street?
Yeah, you can.
We're gonna go, Josh.
Oh.
Somebody's gotta sit with Robbie, film him.
Yeah, I'll sit with Robbie and film.
That'll be good.
Yeah. Get Ryan to film
Robbie
him.
likes smelling me.
He got up 2 minutes before and it was like a The best part was using that dough estrus can, you know, number 69 dough and rut. And you press the button.
Make sure you point it the right way.
Going and going and going, and then the wind changed and blew back at us. Went back out.
Not
went
us.
Back in.
You.
It didn't work though. I don't know how that can had so much stuff in it.
This stuff, I don't think that would work up here.
Oh, it smelled.
It was
The Cedar Shack. And
Oh, I thought this was gonna be Ernie. This is a $100,000 story one.
this is $100,000 story. Okay? The dirty pointer. We were sitting there and I was talking about how was it, right? It was like I was just talking about the value
Start the story.
the value of shooting a buck tonight.
The value.
Right? We had about 40 minutes left of legal shooting light. And I said I would rather shoot a buck, 8-point buck, right now out of the Cedar Shack than win the lottery. So then the discussion point was how much did you have to win to want to shoot the buck instead of win the lottery?
But you can't guess how much money.
So I said I would rather shoot a buck, 8-point buck, out of that blind tonight than win $100,000 in the lottery.
I said we gotta take this back to camp and vote.
Vote.
So do we got to come up with a dollar amount?
No, you can go yay or nay on $100,000.
Oh, nay.
Right then.
Nay, and it was nayed hard.
Yeah,
And then Eric
absolutely
said,
not.
No.
$100,000.
nay.
Nah.
150
But what's it gonna do?
Yeah.
$100,000.
Yeah, what's on the
Hey,
wall?
$100,000 though. What's it really gonna do to your life?
Enough.
Not really.
Yeah,
enough.
Enough.
Not enough.
You know, bless your heart.
Yeah,
no,
that's
no.
your heart.
Not enough to shoot a buck at deer camp out of the Cedar Shack that's never
I know.
shot a
that's-
deer.
100. All right, so let's take it a step further then. For all our nayers, how much would it have to be?
$50. My lottery ticket, that $70 lottery.
Oh
ticket.
yeah, yeah.
No, you guys got it wrong. You guys all got it wrong, okay?
I'm thinking $1,000.
I was close to that round. I was in like $2,000 is what hit me. Quick.
50.
100,000.
We're all over the. Well,
100,000.
100,000 bucks.
That'd have been a cool buck.
Bounty buck.
But the strides were like literally the length of this table.
Right over there, Eric.
Oh, you're talking about
I'm talking about the finest.
Third Coast Customs.
Yeah.
The best three wheelers in North. I mean, the world.
Oh,
The finest. Sorry, I said the best. The finest.
yeah. It was the finest.
Okay. Okay.
Over the tree, huh?
Well,
Over the cabin.
over the cabin.
Yeah.
Into our recycle bin that we have created over the last 85 years. Okay?
Watch your hand. On
Yeah.
The rail.
I see you, bud.
Follow through. Eric, get away from him.
Hey, I got it right here. You plant your back foot back here.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Holy cow!
Brett Favre that.
Smoked it.
I'd like to thank my sponsors. Bayer.
Okay.
Pickled sliced beets.
Oh, it's
Nice
way over
one.
there.
There you go.
Listen. Nice. You got to hear the landing. You can't make noise on the landing.
Tell me what to do.
Oh, long ball.
Nice.
Whoa! Broke a limb!
So that's the last morning hunt. hasn't been a whole lot of action, or any at all. Came out with Rob again, and we gotta head in early because it's time to leave. So we're going home, empty-handed once again. We gotta do a bunch of chores, gather all my cameras, bring them back home, and then that's it. Hit the road.
So it's another year. I mean, it's 3 years in a row now that we haven't shot a buck. And this isn't just for our camp, it's for both of our camps. So we have 2 camps to go in. The camp is around 90 years old, and it's just gotten too big for all those people to be there at once. So we have 2 groups of 6 go in. So basically 12 people over a week and a half period are hunting this property and the surrounding properties around it. And we haven't seen a buck, a target buck anyways, in 3 years, 4 years. Our camp is very secluded. We're 90-ish acres, surrounded by tens of thousands of public logging land, and there's no road to our camp. It's landlocked. So we can't just drive in and drive out with our vehicles. Now, I have done it, but you can't do it this time of year. It's just way too wet, way too muddy, and so on, or too much snow. This year was definitely way too wet to drive a vehicle in. And so what happens is I usually go up a day early. I go into camp and I hang out with the guys from the first camp. I stay the night, and then I keep camp open while the second camp comes into camp. And it makes it so the first camp doesn't have to shut down the camp, stop with the fires and so on. I can keep the fires going, etc. And then when everybody comes for the second camp, everything's ready. We don't have to mess around and do a whole bunch of opening camp chores. This year, I didn't do that because they had 6 guys in our camp. There wasn't really room for me, but we still came up a day early. So it was Robbie, Ryan, and I. We came up a day early. We stayed in a hotel, and then we went out, had some dinner, and hung out at the local bar and talked to a bunch of locals that knew the area pretty well. There was a lot of talk of wolves going around, and I don't live up here, so I don't really know. I mean, I only know based on my experience that I have when I'm here and my trail camera videos. And in 3 years of having 9 to 12 trail cameras at our camp at one time, I think I've only had 4 or 5 videos of wolves. That was until this year. Even this year, all the trail cameras that I had set up on our camp, I think we only had like 2 videos with wolves on them. 2 videos or pictures of wolves. But I had one camera that was set at the far end of our camp that basically looked at the logging road that comes into our camp, and we had a lot of wolves on that camera. So I don't know if they knew where all the other cameras were, and since I hid this one really well, they didn't really know where it was, but they did not avoid this camera. Multiple videos of the pack of wolves walking by the camera. None of them were chasing anything or anything like that, but we did have one wolf chasing a deer while we were at camp. So one of the local guys that I was talking to, he used to be a game warden for the Michigan DNR. And he was telling me that the impact that the wolves have on the deer isn't so much the population, it's the activity. And I think that I really understood that once, obviously, he told us this after we were done deer hunting, but I tend to agree with him a little bit, because what he was saying is wolves mostly hunt during the day. So what happens is the deer lay low, they don't come out in wide open spaces, during the day, so they're mostly nocturnal. When we're hunting, I don't see wolves, I see a lot of tracks. Me and Robbie tracked that buck in the second video. I assume it was a buck. It was a big old track for a mile plus, and then about halfway down that trip, we started to see wolf tracks, and then by the time that we got to a point where we gave up, all we could see was wolf tracks. Every now and then you'd be able to see that deer print, but they definitely found that deer and they got on that deer. And we just decided to back out because we thought if anything we were going to find a carcass, we weren't going to find an actual deer. Since we left camp, I do have one cellular camera up there, and then we left the rest of the cameras up there that are non-cellular. But the one cellular camera, I mean, we've been gone 2 weeks and I only have 2 videos of deer, and we basically just got rid of all the bait that we had taken up to hunt with. You know, hopefully we can get this figured out, figure out how to get more deer to our camp. I think that the food plots really helped, other than the fact that I just didn't plan enough. We had a lot of activity in the summer, this early fall, and then when the snow fell, they were in those radishes like crazy. I mean, like every single day they were just eating our radishes, eating our radishes, eating our radishes. And then they just stopped. I went out there and looked around, there was no radishes. They ate them all. So next year we're definitely gonna bring in more winter foods. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of clover, but only have clover in areas that we don't hunt. Everything else is gonna be some kind of winter attractant. And I think that might help, we'll see. We were really excited going into this year because we thought that, after seeing how well that the food plots that we planted did grow, we thought for sure it was gonna have a better impact, but it wasn't enough. Even for the small deer population that we have, they tore it apart and it didn't last. So hopefully next year we'll go back up in the summer, we'll do some more food plotting. I plan on doing more trips to the UP this year, especially now that my kids really like to go up there. I think I'm gonna do like trips where I just go in, work a day, go travel for a week, and then come back, work another day before we leave, and then go home, and then do it again, a month later or so on. Thanks for watching. That was Deer Camp 2022. No bucks, but I've said it before, we don't really go to deer camp for the deer. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.